View Apple iPhone and 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max. They are expensive of the greatest handset, but upgrade are not dramatic. Powerful phone on the with the bright screen of the always the battery life, the great the bold quality, function feature of the same access the both sides. Dynamic slide of the final has the almost always of the display. The camera system greatest overwhelm. Camera is a economy they are near the heart of the Apple surgeon. It seems does not easy to transfer to Android phone. Apple loving the nothing more. The using of the word of the best new iPhone 14 Pro is the best iPhone here in 48 megapixel camera system that lets you capture the best photo and video. It is usually easy to the validate the claim there are some real what testing especially with the camera new large image sensor after the old part is this year. The result are the compatible. I have snapped more than 25 photos for phones over the past few days, and that's the iPhone 13 Pro actually bested of the brand new method, even while the iPhone 14 Pro come out the top. The ambition of the module that I am the last one, and if Apple just overweight into the product, does not get me wrong. The 14 Pro has a wonderful camera, some best you can get the smartphone. Particularly you can come to video, but the improvement are not dynamic as the company suggests. A few other feature overshoot this camera like is the insular bright display, which can now always stay on, so you never up the top screen dynamic island which the replace the influence the face ID lost. In the smartphone where they make use the data space, but I do the goes far and they say that may there nothing easier iOS 16 make iPhone feel new. Go ahead update the iPhone with the current owner while all the new players of the software bragging and you can might not feel of the need to upgrade the hardware. The phone of the range of the concept of the iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Plus, iPhone 14 Pro, and iPhone 14 Pro Max will be been interesting. The later two few black and grandma purple was the my friend called it for the past week. We also will write up the my thought of the cheaper phone soon. For her, the rose most new upgrade announcement in the year, largest expensive of the Pro model of the top in the least dynamic Iceland, not in the bottom of the transport. You can the blind variable, the name of the method with the self camera and the face ID sensor, ground the nose dish. However, the small pills number like the Android phone, the Apple Center, they make this page. Second screen LGB IO anyone. You can pay the some music. You feel the expenses the slow bottom, the visual expense. Top in the top into the music app process the whole access playback control. Some where they get phone because the map navigation track. It nicely can does need to the swipe or the nothing can tell quickly. This is the leave actually like name playful and the fun. Is wrong the nothing the not every app working the dynamic Iceland just your YouTube music work the perfect music Google Map not is part of feature feel little reach the your name. Next, there always the on the display in the being the stated of feature Android phone over year of the nomination they can the five for Apple say sharp very little better sign of the skin run to the powerful shipping when easy and that seems track but the phone upgrade down on the your packet of the bag and you can skin the shut off then you can have the warrior drink and the burn the battery sass you can battery better the smoother the until you have the skin you can have it there never honestly almost sure the necessary or have the never found the iPhone skin like the brightest, but there's expensive brightness level in the iPhone 14 Pro maintenance retail the fantasy color. But the some display trend was the timeout. In unusual move, there are only one. The iPhone is the last, the greatest. A16 iconic processor, usual full range, the continuity. My matchmaking the testing the slow there included the sum of the speedest mobile chip of the refer the big task because the refer the gaming was had for the performance thought a 45 minutes of the season playing the auction to gain night of the lost rim the rock laser the side of the my black back on the one control as my phone does not get uncomfortable hot however is going to the notified dynamic different day to the day over the a 15 by iconic into into the effect of the difficult iPhone 13 iPhone 14 portable node. It overall type is talked about the EC in the USA. All iPhone 14 models ship out without the physical SIM tray, which means when we set up the eSIM connect with your current network, there is the physical SIM system. I don't never that is use the eSIM before the found the process very simple. Find the setting on the iPhone and for the task. I want to transfer my number and for the iPhone 13 Pro orderly few minutes in my number or the new phone no little SIM into the needed. The transfer number is the iPhone 4, iPhone 14 Pro, iPhone 14 Pro Max after the with no issue until I decide the transfer my number of the Android phone, the SIM support of the Google Pixel 6 Pro. I will get the fraud because the Pixel just ask you to scan the Q code and very carry which they have the environment. I don't have the care of the my carry want to move of the my number of the phone of the Pixel. How this is iPhone Pixel how to physical SIM watching the multiple different programs so you can remove under yes the eSIM are not so secure but they are industrial stable amount of function and does not want to stay lucky the Apple economy the really hope the improvement the interval between the device for the best year the 1 second the future part between the pro model for the aluminum iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus or different size the better life so you can feel the life the going to the other particular the 6.1 inch chip iPhone 14 Pro literally tear of the nearly dropping unwell the max few time per day. We have used the battery both Pro iPhone comfortable lets me the full day. iPhone 14 Pro Max is a bit more comfortable tired or the following morning or the maybe afternoon. It's like asking to play a better life thought. See charger.